whether you win or lose, you will ref. That is me, Squiddy, not Lily. Come out here so everyone can see him. Okay. Me, Squiddy, not Lily, Kay, and then head of our stream team, Seth. And then we're going to take the head of our Idaho stream, Nathan as well. We'll give him that. So Nathan must also log so that he can run the Idaho stream. One thing, I'm actually glad that's brought up. Table 3 is going to be the Idaho stream for AAHL. The commentators will be right next to the table. It will be like that all weekend. If there is anyone that doesn't like the idea of there being commentators, the room's never going to be quiet except during the finals on Sunday. It's always going to be loud. But if you have a problem with being played next to commentators, please let us know and we'll make sure you don't end up on table 3. But if you do not come and tell us before the tournament starts, you might end up there. Cool. Thank you for bringing that up. Table 3 will be the AHL stream. Table 1 is our main stream. Pretty much everyone here is welcome to come. So there's 1 or 2 that aren't welcome to Paul Greeley here. Paul, would you like to wait till tomorrow to say anything, or do you want to do it today as well? All right. So before I say one more thing, we've got Paul Greeley who's going to say a few words. All right, sponsor the stream. Thank you, Paul.
Keep a lookout for email.
do so. If you have not gone to the front register yet, please go ahead and do so. We have a couple things you can sign. If you're under 18, make sure you have your parent with you. Other than that, I'm going to turn things over to our head ref, Matt Mason. If this is your first major tournament, if you have never done a state or national level tournament, please come to table number 1. Table number 1 is right here. If anyone has any questions, if you have never played in a major tournament, please come to table 1. I'm going to hand this over to Matt. You can go ahead and start practicing now. I have one request. Whatever table you're at, when you turn it on, clean that table. Let's go ahead and do that now. Cool. Thank you, everyone, and happy tournament.
That was so hard not to. I've been here for like